إن الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده وأشهد أن محمد رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم. وقال الله سبحانه وتعالى: يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله حق تقاته ولا تموتن إلا وأنتم مسلمون. وبعد, we begin by expressing words of gratitude and thanks to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah is the one who has created us, who protects us, who sustains us, who forgives us, who guides us, and who has prepared for those of us who obey Him a wonderful reward that He has in store for us. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the one who, whenever we make mistakes or commit sins over and over and over again, and we turn to Him, Allah is ever ready, at-Tawwab ar-Rahim, to forgive and to show mercy. And so whenever we should always take some time to express words of gratitude to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, for blessings always exceeds the difficulties and challenges that may be placed before us. And we cannot get a challenge and a difficulty greater than our capacity to handle and to bear. My brothers and sisters, I know it's Christmas season, and forgive me, I don't know about Christmas, because I think those of you who don't know about anything about it, just ask one of your learned brothers in the Masjid. I want to talk about something much more important, and that is because I only come once a month, and I want to talk on things which really is relevant to our community and ourselves. And so I would forego normally talk about these kinds of issues because in our regular masjid, but because I come here once a month, I would prefer to discuss things which are much more closer to what we need to be focused on. For those of you who want to know about Christmas, you can ask us after about any issue concerning that. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, when He speaks of the believers in the Quran, always kinds of refer to us as people of success, قَدْ أَفْلَحَ الْمُؤْمِنُونَ, that we are a people who Allah has caused to be very successful. He speaks highly of the believers. كُنْتُمْ خَيْرَ أُمَّةٍ, you are the best nation. And when He talks about behavior, it is always in a good way. إِنَّمَا الْمُؤْمِنُونَ إِخْوَةٌ, that you believers, you are beautiful among yourself. إِنَّ أَكْرَمَكُمْ عِنْدَ اللَّهِ أَتْقَاكُمْ, and the best among you are those who are closest to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You see, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, when He talks to us, speaks about us in glowing terms, in very beautiful ways. We acknowledge. Often we look on the ground at the reality of what is happening. Some among us to exemplify that. And we need to be concerned about that. Follow Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and try to obey Him. A lot of everybody sitting in the masjid here, the fact that you are here means you are wanting and really trying to obey Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But the crowd here today, compared to the crowd that is of Muslims that are sitting away, who could have been here today, is not here. And those are those that we have to assist and help to bring them to understand reality. And so we have seen among our community those who don't follow it well, under the name of Islam, perform amazing, atrocious actions. To the extent that have murdered fellow Muslims, treat them badly, discrimination, racism, kinds of stuff that we associate with the kuffar now gets associated with some among our community. And those of us who are raising children in this society, I really want you to follow the advices I'm going to give you to impart them to your children. Shaitaan, who Allah said, Aduwwam mubin, plays mind games with us, manipulate us in such a way that sometimes we don't even realize we are lost. Under the guise of thinking we're doing good, the shaitan is deluding us. And I want to point out some of the things which he does to us so that we may become more armed and aware and knowledgeable not to be involved in them. The first one is that the shaitan recognizes the power of intention, of niyyah. For the Prophet ﷺ said, إِنَّمَا الْأَعْمَالُ بِالنِّيَّاتِ وَإِنَّمَا لِكُلِّ امْرِئٍ مَا نَوَى. That verily your actions, its value, its weight is only decided upon based on the intention in which we do. So whatever actions we do, if we want to value it and to put a price on it, we examine the intention. And so, no, I can mess with your, then all of your actions not be so useful, have no value. We are required, every action we do must do for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Lillah. For Allah and Allah alone. That is an easy statement to make, but it's very difficult. When we don't understand this, we fall into the trap of trying to do things to please others. Because when you don't please Allah, when you don't do things to please Allah, you are doing it to please others. Whether it's the government, whether it's some societal standard, whether it's your own ego. You're doing it for another purpose other than to please Allah, and now you're trapped into this very terrible place. In that what I do, I am looking for the approval of someone else. The basis of what I do is because I want to please X and Y and Z. I want the society to see. When you take the equation of doing things for Allah out, then you are no longer concerned with doing it right. It's whatever it takes to please this person, the object that I'm trying to please, whatever works for them, I will fashion my action, even if they're wrong, to please them. So you're no longer concerned with doing it correctly according to Allah's standard. When we do things to please others, we will not do private good deeds. Because every good deed of us, we'll want it to be seen. What's the word? Why would I do some good act privately when nobody is seeing it? I would want it to be seen. And so what happens, the person who does not do their actions for the sake of Allah becomes a slave to looking to please others, please people, and you can never fully please others. Given over the agenda of your life by making your actions dependent upon their pleasure. So this is a trick that the shaitan plays on us. The second one is that we live in a society that teaches us that everything is about results. But Allah tells us it's about effort. Everywhere you go in our society, you are winning matters. The bottom line is what is important. Doesn't matter how much you cheat and dishonest. As long as you win in the end, that's what. Kids cheating their way through college just to get a certificate. Winning is what? While. And the reality is, none of the winning is within our control. Allah is the one who controls. What we are asked is to control the effort. What effort you make. So kids, we play the game, and the kid plays to the heart and goes, doesn't win, and we put, instead of celebrating the amazing effort they make to play the game, it is that which Allah will ask. Allah said, وَالَّذِينَ جَاهَدُوا فِينَا لَنَهْدِيَنَّهُمْ سُبُلَنَا. It is the pursuit towards Allah that will merit the guidance from Allah. Allah said, those who strive towards us, the striving, the effort, those are the ones I will reward with the guidance. Muslim, what is most important is the striving. That is why Nuh alayhi salam, in any one of our regular assessment, if we have to assess Nuh alayhi salam resume, here is a man, may Allah be pleased with him, hundreds of years trying to call people to Allah, and at the end of it ended up with what? If we judge him by results, we would say miserable failure. But yet he's considered the greatest prophet of Allah because of effort. Effort is what counts. And the shaitan has to focus on you are never in control of the results. On the day of judgment, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala asks you about your effort, not about the results. Stop being so result oriented, and you will say, I'm not being anti-business. When you effort, Allah will give you the correct result that is most beneficial for you. It doesn't mean rewarding you with excess. It might sometimes mean rewarding you with deprivation, because that is better for you. Sometimes Allah withholds wealth from you because He knows you get it, you will abuse it and abuse yourself. And so Allah's wisdom happen. You focus on the effort, and the shaitan must do that. Really important is that the shaitan convinces in the society that we are always we're always in a race. We're always trying to outdo someone else. We live lives like, oh, my neighbor has a brand new Lexus, I have to compete. You know, I have to try to now get one like that. This guy, my parents keep telling me, as parents we tell the children, look at Ahmed, he is the same age like you, but yet he has passed this, he has gotten this, he has gotten this. What are you doing? And we force our children into this terrible situation of always trying to compete against some kind of external race that is out there. And so we never become fully satisfied. Auntie Khalida had a wedding, $60,000. We got to compete. We can't have our wedding less than that. What are they going to say? And so we always feel the need, and we change as a person because we always feel we are competing against something else. This is not what our religion teaches us. The only competition you make is against your own standard that you set for yourself. It doesn't matter who behind you or before you or in front of you. It is what you decide is your standard. When they came to Umar al-Khattab and they said, we're so embarrassed with the clothing you have. You're the Khalif of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And the Romans, if you look at their kings, how well dressed they are. We compete with that. Allow us to buy you some decent clothing. You're the leader after all. Umar ibn Khattab understood. He was not in a race competing against anybody. He said, I'm following the standard of two people before me, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam and Abu Bakr radiallahu anhu. And this was the way they chose to dress. They didn't change the patches on their clothing. They wanted to remain, not to allow this to get to their head. Warren Buffett, one of the biggest, richest men in the world, still lives in the same house as when he was poor. This is a man who has given away $35 billion in charity. $1 billion. And doesn't feel the need that he has to compete with somebody else to show off. Doesn't consider himself in a race that I am one of the richest men in the world. Now I have to change my house. Sam Walton, who owns Walmart, who founded Walmart and Sam's Club, used to run around, didn't get up at 6 o'clock in the morning every day, no matter how he's so rich, but didn't feel the need to compete. We Always want to have the latest fashion, the latest gadget, the latest this. Always feel we need to compete. Never satisfied with what we have. And that's what the shaitan wants from us. And so our kids become discontented people. Always wanting more, 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 more. Destroying the planet in its path. Instead of saying, look, I am not in a race with anything. We are only focused on what standard I set for myself that I want to compete in and to strive to establish. Don't allow the shaitan to trick you and your children into this terrible, awesome place where you always have this feeling to do that. And then you become someone else. وَلَا تَكُونُوا كَالَّذِينَ نَسُوا اللَّهَ فَأَنسَاهُمْ أَنفُسَهُم. When you forget Allah, Allah calls you to forget who you are as a person. You no longer know who you are. Get out of that rat race and decide for yourself what standard you want to live, and this is your number is we live in a society in which word gradualism is a bad word. Everything is fast, 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 speed. We even have a concept called fast food. Fast food. If you should tell this terminology to people who lived 300 years ago and said, you know, there's something called fast food, that you could drive up to a place, order your food, and by the time you drive around a couple of seconds on the other side, you get handed the food. We even have a place called Quickie Burger. Everything is quick. The food has to be quick. The internet has to be quick. You're typing on your keyboard, if you press a button and the screen doesn't change almost instantaneously, you get frustrated. You're on an elevator and you're pressing it, and it's not moving. The door is not closing fast enough. We become impatient. Everything we want to have immediately happen. We're impatient with something that takes time. And so we ended up with all kinds of ADD people. You know, everybody is like in this state of everything has to be fast, 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 fast. We walk fast, we drive fast. Everything we do with speed. And the reality is that you cannot accomplish a great deal by just being fast, because when you go fast, you also crash fast. If you look at an artist, anything great that is done takes time. You look at an artist that is painting a masterpiece, they could care less how long it takes. An artist takes their time. They're doing a masterpiece. Pixar films, almost 5 years to bring out a movie. Farmers understand the concept of patience and nothing being fast. Our food, when a farmer plants a seed, he knows it might take 2 years before I see that fruit. Of being patient with letting things take their toll, take their time, and not being fast. Everything has to be fast, fast, fast. This is a concept that will allow us to always have a lot of stress. That is why there's such high level of mental problem with our youth. Depression, frustration, because of this race to be fast, to be this, to do things in a hurry. We've got to keep away from that and understand. Slow down. The Sahaba radiallahu anhum used to take 10 ayats at a time, and they would memorize them. There was no rush to finish the whole book. They had understood the value of taking your time. That is why when we have classes, okay, tomorrow there'll be an Arabic language class. Everybody, 50 people show up overnight. And then 2 weeks after, what happened? 10 people is in the class. Why? Because those rests thought they would learn in 2 weeks. That is, overnight everything will happen. And as soon as they don't get any result quickly, they give up. It's not in the category of fast. I don't have time for it. We become a nation where we had to reduce. We needed things so fast that we have Twitter, where we now have all of these different technologies to bring everything fast to us. And we have lost the art of doing things well that requires time. Do not allow ourselves to fall into this trap. Tufail ibn Amr al-Dawsi, when he took Shahada radiallahu anhu, he said, I'm the leader of the tribe. Don't worry, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, I will go back. And against the advice of the Prophet, he says, I will tell them and ask all of them to accept Islam, and they will all accept just like that. And he went back to his tribe, turned to his father. He said, I am now no longer what you have. I said, I am on what you have. Went to his wife, said, I'm no longer what you have. I am different. I'm now a Muslim. She said, I am on what you have. I will accept Islam. And no one else in the tribe accepted Islam except one young man. And Tufail got so despondent. He could not believe, because he thought it would be fast. I will just go and do that, and everybody will take Shahada. And he began to preach to his people, and nobody was accepted at all. He got so frustrated. This one young man, Abu Hurairah, accepted. He went back to the Prophet ﷺ and he said, Oh Rasulullah ﷺ, I want you to make dua to punish all my people because they are ungrateful to Allah. And the Prophet raised his hands and said, Oh Allah, please guide those people. He made dua the opposite. Years later, the Prophet was in Medina, took time to file case. He thought was an earthquake coming. 80 families, all Muslims, and work, slow, dedicated work of learning the lesson. It's not about being fast. It doesn't move at your clock. We've got time. And the shaitan tricks us into that because of the society in which we live. Ask the old people, when you had to find a piece of information before the age of internet, what they had to go through. A typical child, my childhood, if they give us a computers, no internet, you go to the library, hope, find one book that made some information about Africa. You will spend 3, 4, 5 hours in the library just looking for one that could correlate with your topic. That was dawah. And the thing that the shaitan does that is really important for us to understand is that how's the things we didn't do well at to make us become and feel as if we are failures. You see, there are many things you will do that you will fail at. But failing at something doesn't make you a failure. A failure is a person who has a particular mindset that says, I can't do anything well, who gives up very quickly. Failing at something is just an event, a minor setback. And so the shaitan tries to get us to understand that when you are not, things are not happening the way you want, you sign up for this class. I've to learn to recite Quran. I've tried it 1 time, I've tried it 2 times, I've tried it 3 times. I don't think I will be ever able to do this. And they give up trying because they begin to consider themselves a failure. You see, Allah, I began by saying Allah does not. Allah doesn't make mistakes. How many swears by us? وَنَفْسِ وَمَا سَوَّاهَا, by the soul and that which perfects it. Allah has created each one of us for success. We're not failures. In fact, we don't even use the terminology of failure. All we say when something doesn't work in your life, I have just learned a new way of how not to do it. I have gained experience from the exercise. I have grown as a result of having gone through that and failing at this. And I have demonstrated I have resilience to try again. It's not a failure, because you learn all of this from something that you did that didn't work. Whether it's class you attended, whether it's the gym you went and you expected to lose 10 pounds in a moment. New Year is coming. Many of us will make all kinds of resolutions, and then we'll give it up after the next month. When we're trying to lose weight, the gym, they make the most money in January and February. Membership just soar. And then in March, everybody give up. You know, we are taught in our religion, as I said before, it is to keep trying and never see yourself as a failure. Never see yourself as a failure. Everything worth doing takes time. Imam Muslim, is Sahih Muslim, which is the second most authentic hadith book, took him 15 years to perfect and bring to the world. He didn't mind, because look what he did. Most amazing piece of religion that stand the test of time. So none of us should allow the shaitan to influence our children and to allow us to think that we are failing. No matter what it is, we are Allah's believers, and Allah has promised that He will take care of those who believe and do effort and make struggle in the way of Allah. Allah will have your back. Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu in tattaqullaha yaj'al lakum furqana wa yukaffir ankum sayyi'atikum wa yaghfir lakum. O you who believe, if you should just have taqwa for Allah, be on His side, make a decision to stick to Allah. Allah says, I will change your evil actions and thoughts and make them into good ones and forgive you for the past ones that you did wrong. Amazing. I'll fix you up. I'll change you in such a way even your thoughts and your actions will now become pure. You did wrong, I will take care of that too. And don't doubt me, Wallahu zul fadlil azim. And I'm capable of doing that because I own all the bounties in the world. And so, brothers, don't allow our children to become this kind of creature that we don't even recognize. Make sure their niyyah, you teach your children about niyyah, you teach your children about effort, you teach your children standards and not competition, that you teach your children to slow down, and take their time, and not to have to, you know, the third highest cause of homicide in Florida between the age of 15 and 24 is young people killing themselves on the road, driving too fast, watching email while they are driving, and chatting. On a very avoidable kind of circumstance. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala help us to understand this and help us to be able to establish these things in our faith so that we can become the kind of person that Allah is addressing. These beautiful labels that Allah gives us, وَخَالِقِ النَّاسِ بِخُلُقٍ حَسَنٍ, that we are people who behave nice to people and all the others. Let us get back to this. And may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala does not cause us and our children to become confused and to live their lives following these miserable things which I've just mentioned, and at the end of their life realizing, what have I accomplished? I have all the money and all the wealth in the world, but I've lost I've lost Allah, I've lost my family, I've lost my way. قولوا قولي هذا واستغفر الله لكم. الحمد لله رب العالمين حمدا كثيرا طيبا مباركا فيه ونشهد ان لا اله الا الله وحده ونشهد ان محمد رسول الله. ربنا اتنا في الدنيا حسنه وفي الاخره حسنه وقنا عذاب النار. ربنا اننا سمعنا مناديا ينادي للايمان ان امنوا بربكم فامنا. نستغفر الله الذي لا اله الا هو الحي القيوم ونتوب اليك. ان الله يأمر بالعدل والاحسان وايتاء ذي القربى وينهى عن الفحشاء والمنكر والبغي يعظكم لعلكم تذكرون. اذكروا الله يذكركم واقيموا الصلاه.
أكبر الله أكبر أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله